Every single time you hand over extra money for a premium seat just to board the plane early, you are essentially paying a luxury tax on convenience that you never had to pay in the first place. The airlines have designed a very convincing illusion that priority boarding is some exclusive privilege reserved for high-spending elites. But the truth is, that system has more gaps and workarounds than most travelers ever discover. Today, we are breaking down exactly how to get to that overhead bin first, settle into your seat without stress, and walk past the gate scanner before the crowds even form, all without spending an extra dollar on an upgraded ticket. Let us start by talking about the financial foundation, because the smartest travelers in 2026 are not paying hundreds extra for seats. They are spending strategically on credit cards they were probably going to use anyway. Mid-tier airline branded credit cards have quietly become one of the most underutilized tools in the boarding game. Most of these cards carry annual fees somewhere in the range of $95 to $150, which sounds like a cost until you realize that a single round trip where you board early and avoid gate checking your bag has already delivered more value than that fee. The key is identifying which cards specifically grant automatic Group 2 boarding status as a standard cardholder benefit, not as something you earn through spend thresholds. In 2026, several major carrier-branded cards have kept this perk quietly listed in their benefits disclosure because it does not generate flashy marketing. It is not as exciting to advertise as lounge access or bonus miles. So many cardholders are sitting on this benefit without ever activating it. The activation process varies by carrier, but most require you to simply add your loyalty number to your card profile within the airline's app and ensure your reservation is booked directly through that airline. Third-party booking platforms can strip these benefits from your reservation automatically, which is why booking direct is non-negotiable if you want your card perks to register correctly at the gate. Now let us talk about something most travelers completely overlook, which is the status match shortcut. Airline elite status does not have to be earned exclusively through flying thousands of miles. In 2026, the cross-industry promotional landscape between airlines, hotel chains, and rental car companies has made it possible to leverage loyalty you have already built in one travel sector to challenge into an airline's elite program. Hotel programs in particular have developed formal status match and challenge pathways with airline partners, where your mid-tier hotel status can qualify you to attempt a challenge period with a corresponding airline program. The way a challenge works is that the airline temporarily grants you a trial status, often silver or equivalent, for a window of roughly 90 days. During that window, you complete a reduced set of qualifying activities, which might be as few as 2 or 3 flights, and in exchange, you lock in that status for the remainder of the calendar year. This is dramatically faster than the traditional path. The critical timing strategy here is to initiate your status challenge application roughly 6 to 8 weeks before your heaviest travel period. That way, your temporary status is confirmed and active before your most important trips happen, and you have enough runway to complete the challenge requirements without rushing. Watch for mid-year promotions because airlines tend to push these cross-industry deals in the second and third quarters when they want to juice their loyalty enrollment numbers. The deals in 2026 have been particularly aggressive because airlines are competing hard for traveler loyalty after several years of market turbulence. These promotions get announced quietly through email newsletters and partner loyalty portals, so staying subscribed to those communications genuinely pays off. Here is where we shift into the technical side of the game, and this is where precision timing becomes your greatest asset. The 24-hour check-in window is not a flat playing field. Airlines process check-ins in the sequence they are received, and in high-demand markets, the difference between checking in at the exact T-minus 24-hour mark versus 30 minutes later can mean the difference between boarding group 2 and boarding group 4. The way to approach this is to set an alarm for literally 1 to 2 minutes before your window opens and have your booking confirmation pulled up and ready on your device. There is another layer here that most people do not know about, which relates to the platform you use to check in. The mobile app and the mobile web portal for the same airline can process your check-in request differently and route it through different server queues. Several frequent travelers have documented cases where using the carrier's mobile web browser, accessed through Safari or Chrome rather than the dedicated app, results in a faster sequence number assignment, or in some cases, bumps you into a better boarding zone. This is not officially acknowledged by airlines, but the pattern is consistent enough that it is worth testing on your next trip. Try the browser check-in pathway rather than defaulting to the app and compare your boarding group assignment against what you typically receive. Another digital tactic worth building into your routine is monitoring the seat map during the 24 to 12-hour window before your flight. Airlines periodically reassign or release seats in this window, and certain seat configurations create what you might think of as orphan seats, single open seats adjacent to blocked or unavailable positions that seat assignment algorithms will sometimes reclassify, along with upgraded boarding group designations, to move them off the map. If you catch one of these seats opening up and switch into it, you can inherit the boarding group associated with that seat class without paying the difference in fare. This requires checking the seat map several times during that final window, but it takes 30 seconds each time, and the payoff when it works is real. Now, let us get into gate positioning, because this is where a lot of travelers lose the psychological game at the very end of their strategy. Understanding what frequent flyers call Zone Zero mentality means recognizing that physical proximity to the boarding lane entrance communicates something to gate agents before a single word is spoken. Travelers who position themselves naturally near the scanner in the few minutes before boarding begins, without being aggressive or blocking the area, are visually registering themselves as experienced and organized passengers. Gate agents are processing enormous amounts of information during boarding prep, and they apply shortcuts just like anyone does. There is also a legitimate and polite approach to what some travelers call the volunteer inquiry. If you have a lower boarding group but arrive at the gate early, you can approach the gate agent during their pre-boarding setup, ideally 5 to 10 minutes before any boarding announcement, and simply ask if there is anything you can do to be helpful, or if there is a pre-boarding option for travelers without checked baggage. This works surprisingly often on less congested routes where gate agents have more discretion. The key is the timing and the tone. You are not demanding anything, you are offering availability. Gate agents have the authority to grant early boarding at their discretion, and framing yourself as a low-maintenance traveler who just wants to settle in quickly is a far more effective approach than asking to be bumped up as a favor. Read the physical cues at the gate as well. When an agent picks up the scanner and faces the boarding lane, that is your signal to move naturally into position within your zone. When they make eye contact with passengers in the lane rather than at their screen, boarding is 30 to 60 seconds away. These micro signals tell you when to be ready before the verbal announcement, which means you are already at the front of your group when the first passengers step through. The overhead bin strategy wraps all of this together. The single most effective thing you can do to guarantee bin space, regardless of boarding group, is to travel with one carry-on that fits efficiently into overhead bins, rather than fighting for space with an oversized or oddly shaped bag. The 2026 rollout of AI-assisted bag scanning at several major hubs has added a new layer of risk for travelers with borderline-sized luggage. These systems flag bags that exceed dimensional guidelines more consistently than human agents did, which means gate valet tagging is becoming more common for passengers who push the size limits. A bag that fits cleanly within published dimensions every time eliminates that risk entirely. When you board early through any of these methods, move directly to your row and place your bag in the bin above your specific seat, rather than in the first available bin near the front. Placing your bag above your own seat means you are never scrambling to locate it during deplaning, and it prevents the cascade of bin space conflicts that happens when front passengers use mid-cabin bins. Sit down immediately after stowing your bag rather than blocking the aisle. This signals to the crew that you are a seasoned traveler, which carries its own social benefits throughout the flight. The full system we have walked through today is about recognizing that boarding priority is a layered game of financial positioning, digital timing, platform knowledge, behavioral intelligence, and physical strategy. None of these individual steps cost you a first-class fare. Together, they build something that most expensive seat upgrades can barely deliver, which is a genuinely calm and controlled boarding experience every time you fly. Apply even 2 or 3 of these tactics on your next trip, and you will feel the difference immediately. If this breakdown saved you money, share it with someone who is still overpaying for early boarding access, because they deserve to know the game is rigged in their favor if they know how to play it.